Hi students, this is Satish Kumar. Today I'm going to present the 11th video lecture on microwave waveguides. In the previous lectures, we have completed the complete analysis of transverse magnetic and transverse electric mode of analysis. In that, we have got the solution for Hz and Ez, and even we have calculated the remaining field components also. Next, we have to find out the expression for cutoff frequency of a rectangular waveguide, and that cutoff frequency here is denoted by Fc. Why we require this cutoff frequency? Because the rectangular waveguide here will act like a high pass filter. Rectangular waveguide acts like high pass filter. What actually high pass filter is? High pass filter is the one which allows only high frequency signals above a cutoff frequency, which we call it Fc. And this cutoff frequency we are going to find out in this particular lecture. Okay, so to find out this particular cutoff frequency expression for rectangular waveguide, we need to use some expressions which we have calculated earlier. Okay, that is, we start from that. We know that the expression for h square which we have calculated earlier is gamma square plus omega square mu naught epsilon naught. This is an expression which we have calculated while seeing the differential equations which is in second order. Okay, I said at that time h square is a constant and gamma is a propagation constant, omega is angular frequency, mu naught is permeability in free space, and epsilon naught is permittivity in free space. And also the another expression for h square which we got it as a square plus b square. This is while finding the solution of Ez and Hz, we got this, and after applying the boundary conditions, this A is obtained as m pi by small a whole square, and B is obtained as n pi by small b whole square. And this is another expression for h square, which I am calling here is second equation. Now equating this 1 and 2 equations, because both are the expressions for h square, we can say gamma square plus omega square mu naught epsilon naught is equal to, put this in a square bracket, m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square. Okay, so this you are going to call third equation. Now we'll try to find out the expression for gamma square. Gamma square will be equal to now m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus this omega square mu naught epsilon naught will come into the right hand side, and call this is equation number 4. Okay, and the expression for gamma now will become whole under root of m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught. Call this is equation number 5. Now we can express this gamma as alpha plus j beta is equal to under root of the same expression. which is m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught. Equation number 6. Now, here alpha is called as attenuation constant. Alpha is called attenuation constant, whose units will be generally decibel per meter or Nepper per meter, and beta we call it as phase constant. Beta we call it as phase constant, whose units are radian per meter. Now we'll be going to the third slide. Okay, so to find out the expression for cutoff frequency here, we need to take three cases here. That three cases here I am dividing it in a very simple way. I'm just taking the frequency like this. This is a frequency scale, and here I am taking a cutoff, and this cutoff I am going to call it as F is equal to Fc, and this entire region I can call it as F less than Fc. It's very simple because this is at F equal to Fc, we can call this is F less than Fc, and this region we call it as F greater than Fc. It's very simple. Suppose let us take this F is equal to Fc, which is 5 gigahertz. Okay, this cutoff frequency is, let's say, 5 gigahertz, and this F here will be less than that 5 gigahertz, let's say that is 1 gigahertz. I'm just taking an example here, and F here is equal to, let's say, 10 gigahertz, which is very much higher compared with the cutoff frequency. For this particular case, this you call it as first case, this I am calling it as second case, and this I'll come to the final case. Here, based on the frequency of operation, based on the frequency of operation, we'll always have three cases. We'll always have three cases, and they are first one is F less than Fc, second one is F greater than Fc, and third is F is equal to Fc. We can even call this as omega greater than omega c, omega less than omega c, and here omega greater than omega c, and omega equal to omega c. Let us take the first condition, which is F less than Fc. Okay, Fc we have assumed here is 5 gigahertz, and F can be 1 gigahertz or even smaller, maybe hundreds of kilohertz we can take it. That means this is a lower frequency. We can simply call this frequency is very smaller frequency. When this frequency is very smaller, it's very clear that the frequency is in this omega square mu epsilon is going to become a very smaller number. When this is very smaller and this is very larger, automatically larger number minus smaller number will always give a real number. So this entire root of this larger minus smaller will always give a real number, and that will be equal to this alpha. That means there is no imaginary part that you will get when frequency F is lesser than Fc. That's what we are going to write it here. So omega square mu naught epsilon naught is lesser than m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square. So in this case, it's very clear that this is smaller and this is larger. So under root of larger minus smaller will always give a real number. Okay, that I am going to write it here. So gamma, which is alpha plus j beta, which is equal to a real number. A real number plus imaginary here is 0. Now on comparison, what we will be getting is alpha is real, which is we can call it as not equal to 0 because it is having some real value. We don't know exactly how much is that. So we'll be taking it as not equal to 0 and beta, which is equal to 0. This is a simple expression that we have got it for f less than fc. And second case, if you take it, that is for f greater than fc or omega greater than omega c. What will happen is, because that omega is in the root which is in second expression, now this omega will be very much higher because you have taken a frequency which is almost very much higher. So omega square mu naught epsilon naught is very greater compared with m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square. Okay, so once you get this expression gamma, which is alpha plus j beta, will be equal to under root of, this is very smaller, this is very smaller now, and this is very larger. So a smaller number minus larger number will always give an imaginary number which is something like j and some number. Okay, so that number here is maybe a real number, but j into that will become an imaginary. Okay, so now there is no real part here. Okay, that 0 is not there. So here what you will be getting is alpha is 0 and beta, because you are getting an imaginary number, because under root of minus something will always be represented as j. If it is something like minus 4 under root of, this is j root 4. This is j root 4. This root 4 may be a real number, but j into that will be an imaginary. So beta is not equal to 0. So what is simply happening here is, if you try to take that line again, so this is a cutoff frequency, f is equal to fc. This f less than fc, what is happening is alpha is not equal to 0 and beta here is equal to 0. And for the frequency f greater than fc, what is happening is alpha has now become 0 and beta is not equal to 0. What this indicates, we'll try to analyze it. Alpha will be not equal to 0 till this entire expression up to this, up to this. But at this line, that is f is equal to fc, what is happened is alpha has become equal to 0. So from here onwards, alpha has become 0. Beta is equal to 0 till this. That means at f equal to fc also beta equal to 0. But after that, f has become not equal to 0. So it is simply saying that yet f is equal to fc, alpha will be 0 as well as beta will be 0. When alpha, beta both will be 0, automatically it is saying that gamma is also 0. Gamma is also 0. So it is a very simple indication that at the cutoff frequency, gamma is equal to 0 because alpha and beta both will be 0. So and this is the cutoff frequency condition. Okay, by taking this condition, we can able to now get the expression for cutoff frequency. So at, we'll be writing now, at omega is equal to omega c, or F is equal to Fc, we can say gamma will be equal to 0. Okay, this is the condition now. Let us try to use that. So we know that already that gamma, which is alpha plus j beta, which is equal to under root of m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square. Put this in a square bracket as I mentioned, minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught. Now substitute this condition. Omega is equal to, you put omega c, and gamma equal to 0. This entire expression we are going to call it gamma. So substitute this gamma is equal to 0, and this will now become m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega will be now omega c square mu naught epsilon naught. Now squaring on both sides, and bringing this omega c square mu naught epsilon naught to the left hand side, that will become omega c square mu naught epsilon naught is equal to simply m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square. Put this in a bracket. Now omega c square will be simply 1 by mu naught epsilon naught into m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square. Okay, now you have to find out omega c because I have to get finally fc expression. So for that, I'll be going to the next slide. So that omega c will now become 1 by under root of mu naught epsilon naught, and this also we are going to write it in under root, but instead of that I'll be writing whole power 1 by 2 m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square whole power 1 by 2, or else you can write it as under root, right? So this we can write it as 2 pi fc is equal to what, this 1 by under root of mu naught epsilon naught can be written as, we can write this as c because it is approximately equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second into this, into the same thing m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square whole power 1 by 2. So what you can now do is fc will be equal to c by 2 pi. In this pi square you can take it common, but as it is in root, what you will be getting is pi into m by a. As pi is already we have taken it out, what is left is only m by a whole square plus n by b whole square. Here pi getting cancelled, and what we can finally get it is fc is equal to c by 2 m by a whole square plus n by b whole square whole power 1 by 2. This is an expression for the cutoff frequency which we will be using for all the analysis, that is TE and TM analysis. Now here C will always be expressed in terms of centimeters per second. I'll tell you why. 3 into 10 power 10 centimeters per second to make the problem simpler, and A is the breadth or broader dimension of the rectangular waveguide, which is always expressed in centimeters, and B is the width of the rectangular waveguide, which is also expressed in centimeters. Mostly he'll give you A and B values in centimeters. So that's the reason I am also asking you to write the expression for C, which is also in centimeters, so that the problems can become simpler and we can do it easier. Okay. So this expression, which is cutoff frequency FC, will be used to find out the lowest frequency through which the electromagnetic wave can be propagated through the rectangular waveguide. Okay, so by using this cutoff frequency only, we can able to classify what modes are dominant modes and what modes are degenerative modes, and the other modes, how they will be existing. This is all we are going to see. So if you like my video lectures, please subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.